I want to take you to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh, okay.
And I thought this might have been audio from maybe a year ago or even 6 months ago, but no, this was from November 21st. She was addressing some aspect of the climate summit in Scotland. And it's the equivalent of Philippe Cunningham trying to explain what a police chief does.
Okay.
Only she's expressing her opposition to the Enbridge Line 3. And apparently she's unaware that it's been up and running for over a month. And she is saying that, well, here, you try to figure out what this idiot is saying.
Can I stop you just for a minute?
Yes.
You said November 21st.
Yes.
We're not there yet.
No, this video was posted November 15th.
I'm sorry, November 15th.
Okay.
So this is really recent.
Well, yeah,
Joe,
2 days ago.
do you have a stroke this morning or something? Should we be calling the doc?
I got the booster shot last Saturday.
How you feeling today?
Much better than I was.
Yeah, you seem better.
Do you want some of this Monster Energy to kind of get you going?
I've been working on Reavers. This is intramural, but I don't think our GLers will mind. I'm trying to advise him that he speaks too quickly.
I get a little excited.
Speaks too rapidly.
Yeah.
Well, and he agrees. And now it occurs to me, it's because you drink that junk.
I know.
That's bad for you, man.
I know.
Well, will you play Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
Reavers here for Monster Energy.
And I am very much in support of stopping Line 3. And frankly, a lot of not from Line 3 to Keystone Pipeline to all of this, it has to do with, a lot of this has to do with the decision that Congress made not too long ago, relatively, to allow the United States to be an exporter of natural gas. Because when you look at Keystone XL and when you look at a lot of these other pipelines, people say, oh, this is for energy, independence in the United States. We actually already produce enough to power our own country. Whether you agree with it or not, that's just what it is. A lot of these pipelines are being built so that the United States can export and sell natural gas abroad. And, people make geopolitical arguments as to why that should be the case. That aside, I think, whether we actually 100% need, I believe Line 3 should not exist.
That is so wonderful. My word.
That puts me in mind of the Miss Teen America pageant. Pageant contestant who was asked about what was it? The children around the world don't have enough maps, or was some question as to regarding their reading. Do you recall that? This woman is clearly so vacuous that she has no idea. This was Philippe Cunningham talking about a police chief. This was Miss Teen America talking about illiteracy.
South Carolina?
Was it Miss South Carolina?
Okay.
And this is a crying shame. She's a bartender.
I'd like to play the very first 10 seconds
Sure.
of AOC,
Yes.
and then I have two sound bites I want to compare it to. Are you ready?
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right, here we
please.
go.
Yeah.
And I am very much in support of stopping Line 3. And frankly, a lot of not from Line 3 to Keystone Pipeline to all of this, it has to do with...
Okay.
Yep.
And then this. Miss South Carolina.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future. For our
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
Yeah, she's a teenager. She's off the hook. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a bleeping congresswoman.
Now, example number 2. You ready?
To all of this, it has to do with
All right. And this kid.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
That kid made more sense than both of those two did.
Yes, she did.
And how about example 3?
Okay.
The police chief's
Oh my
role
God.
is to be able
Way
to
to go,
have
Chris.
a vision of what it means for us to have a strong focus on what should police be focusing on.
I'm one day closer to deleting that, by the way.
This woman, Cortez, clearly does not know what she's talking about.
Nope.
Which is a shame on the country, a shame on the people who voted for her. It is alarming. First of all, Line 3 does exist. It passed every possible federal, state, and regional regulation. We have talked to their people from Alberta, from Calgary. We, GLers, of course, are in favor of Line 3, and it fought the good fight, and it got completed, even though Jane Fonda was carried there in some sort of device to be complaining about it. It's a crying shame that people have demonized fossil fuel when it should be celebrated. It quite literally should be celebrated because let me tell you something, Alexandria. You wouldn't be where you are today if fossil fuels did not exist or get used. Where would we be? We would be nowhere. It revolutionized our lives, the lives of people all over the world. It has extended life expectancy. It has cured diseases. It has fueled the likes of you in a democratic society to improbably enough leave your post as a 2-bit bartender and become a 2-bit congresswoman. And it's just
Is 2-bit giving her too much credit? Maybe she's a 1-bit.
A 1-bitter. And it's just amazing to me that people are so stupid that they demonize fossil fuel when it should be celebrated. Now, if you want to crown her ass, you crown her.
But she is who we thought she was.
She is who I thought she was. No, it's just a crying shame. And to hear this blathering idiot attempt to pretend she knows about the importance of a pipeline, well, she doesn't know. She doesn't think they're important.
Well, remember, she also celebrated when that cargo ship, or not cargo ship, but the fuel ship, remember, that got stranded? And she celebrated that this is such a great thing. No. That's the opposite of a great thing, AOC.
Did you catch the greatest sentence in her ridiculous remarks?
I guess I did.
Okay, play it again, and I'll stop you when she's about to say the greatest sentence.
a lot of this has to do with the decision that Congress made not too long ago, relatively, to allow the United States to be an exporter of natural gas. Because when you look at Keystone XL and when you look at a lot of these other pipelines, people say, oh, this is for energy, independence in the United States. We actually already
Now, here comes the worst thing she said.
produce enough to power our own country. Whether you agree with it or not,
Stop.
that is.
In other words, occasional, you would be talking to your peer group who might not approve of the fact that we could be energy independent. She said, if you like that or not, we can produce enough energy. No, we can't right now. Your president is begging other nations to produce more oil. But she actually finds it distasteful, perhaps, that this country can produce enough fuel for us to survive. And it's a crying shame, man, that she's this much of an idiot. She's a congresswoman. She's a congresswoman.
The United States of America, when a production is viewed by a country The U.S. is the top producer of natural gas, followed by Russia, Iran, Qatar, China, and Canada.
And you know why people export it occasionally? To make money.
Yeah.
That's why they do that, to make money. And also keep people warm all around the world.
I don't know if I've ever heard you say this before, but this is something it should be a part of every show. Fossil fuels should be celebrated.
Celebrated.
Yeah.
Who's the author I recently discovered who I enjoy tremendously? Is it Brendan O'Neill from the website called Spiked? Isn't his name Brendan O'Neill?
Yep, I think you are correct.
I think he's written a piece about how we should celebrate fossil fuel, not demonize it.
Yeah. He's